those cards up. Okay, so it is hot. It is very sticky. We are in an airport. I am with my 10-year-old son. We're trying to depart Cancun, Mexico, to come back from spring break. All is not going well. We are at the customs counter where every passenger going from Cancun to the US is being thoroughly searched for tomatoes, apples, anything with a seed, because you can bring it back and plant it, and then you can say, look, I have Mexican tomatoes. I don't know the reason you're not allowed to bring them. However, there is a slight deviation to this pattern when, upon opening our luggage, the little Mexican customs agent says, and what is this? So he pulls out of our luggage is a military-grade shovel. Not just an ordinary little shovel, but one you could dig trenches with, or foxholes, or perhaps even bury somebody. And they look at my son, and they look at me, and we've got a flight to catch, and it's really hot, and everybody behind us in line is all pissed off because they had to throw the tomatoes off their Burger King burgers before they got in line. And he looks at both of us, and then this language we don't understand, of course. The agents gather around and they begin conversing. Well, only then do we discover somehow through some translations and people who were piecing together the story that there had been recently a murder in which a body had been dug up in the sand and buried on the beach. So, of course, every sandy shovel at this point could be potentially related to that crime. Not that I thought I or my 10-year-old son looked like we had come to an American resort in a foreign country for spring break to commit a murder. So things settle down, they understand, they accept our broken explanation, but the reality is, why did we have the shovel in the first place? Well, unlike every other typical American family going on spring break at a nice beach resort in a nice foreign country, we did not spend our time at the resort drinking all the free booze you could, or playing volleyball, or splashing around in the water. No, we were consigned to traveling the local Cancun municipality buses all day, every day, looking for a store that sold a shovel, a really good military-grade shovel. Why? Well, my son at this point had seen the movie Holes, and had read the book Holes, and if you remember Holes, what do they do all the time? Well, my son, being a little bit on the perseveration side, had to dig holes wherever we went. So you would think this would be upsetting, and I'd be calling home, and I'd be shaken when I got on the plane and have to have 5 drinks, and I was kind of already initiated into the world of my 10-year-old son where nothing was ever typical. You see, he was, still is, on what they call the autism spectrum. Now, if we hadn't gotten the shovel, the trip would have been completely ruined. So every day we got on the bus, with all of the hotel staff and the different cleaning people and all the staff riding up and down the main streets of downtown Cancun with no air conditioning and no amenities that we would enjoy on our vacation. Well, I wish I could say that this was an isolated incident, but we had my son evaluated, of course, several times, as you do when you're a parent and your child is exhibiting behaviors that make other people gasp and run the other way. And we had taken him to, we felt, a very globally renowned expert who was from Finland, and she described herself as a therapist, a neuropsychologist dealing with very unusual and unique individuals. After an 8-hour evaluation, She calmly ushered my husband and me into the office and says, well, I must tell you, I have seen many unique children in my practice, seen many unusual children in my practice. However, I must tell you, your son is the most uniquely unusual person I have ever met. So I didn't start out trying to be like an icon for the world, but here I was, having given birth to the world's most unusual, unique person, according to this expert authority. After that, things sort of simmered down a little bit. We had a few more incidents, one of which was we had sent him to a lovely camp in the woods of Mount Catoctin, the Catoctin Mountains, only to find out that when we had come back a week later, he had escaped from camp to follow a frog that was hopping along the road and ended up at Camp David, was escorted back to the camp by, I don't know, Secret Service agents? So, along the way, he did present with many, many challenges. I live to tell about them, so I'm happy to have shared just a few of the very well hidden scars of my impossible motherhood, and I would just like to thank you for your sympathy.